What's up, everybody? It's your boy, you know who it is. Quasi here in student selection. So check it out. Today, we're gonna do a campus tour. I'm gonna show you around. I'm gonna answer your questions. So make sure that you're getting down there, put your questions in. I'm gonna answer them when I'm walking around, all right? So first things first, this is my office. This is where I will be in here accepting or denying applications. This is where the magic happens, where I spend most of my day. So check it out. A lot of cool stuff in here. Big, beautiful American flag. And this is the student selection building. Okay. We're going to start on this side right over here. So first things first. This is the merch store. Here is where we're going to sell any additional things, some pancakes, some sugar scoops. We got all this sweet merch hanging up. We got sweatshirts, we got hats, we got keychains, sweatpants, lots and lots of hats. Did I mention hats? Yeah, there's a lot of them. So, weldusa.com, make sure you get on there, get yourself some cool stuff. Come here, cameraman, I want to show some stuff off over here. So this right here is our blue collar tour wall, all right? It's already too small. We're gonna have to make it a little bit bigger for next year, but it's displaying each year and how much bigger our journey has gotten from 2021 to 2023. If you wanna get a close up on those, I don't know if it'll work out or not, but we can try. As you can see on this chart, we just have a little trajectory here in 2021, 2022, a lot more schools, okay? Here, even bigger, pretty cool to see. I love showing that off. Always point that out during tours. All right, cameraman, let's go. Speed tour, speed tour. Just kidding, if you haven't seen that video, you wouldn't understand. This right here is the DeWalt wall, okay? So these are the tools that you're going to get in the cost of tuition after you've paid. On your orientation day, we'll give you your tools, okay? So you're gonna get a DeWalt Tough System 2.0, okay? And everything you see inside this display case is what you're gonna get. So going from the top, we got a tungsten cup kit. It's got all your cup sizes, okay? We got an amplified TIG rig. You're gonna get 2 containers of tungsten rod, gloves. You're gonna get your Stinger safety glasses, a DeWalt grinder, DeWalt grinding discs, DeWalt wire wheels. Okay, you're gonna get a level, pliers, tape. That's for when you're doing a purge base. A pipe fitter's book. You wanna keep that forever. Those things are actually really expensive. You're gonna get a mag flashlight. Okay, you're gonna get your jacket. That's your welding jacket that you're welding with. You're gonna get some more gloves there. We're gonna give you one of these welding hoods. It's gonna come with some, I believe it's a shade 10 or shade 11 lens in there. You're gonna get a bunch of clear lenses because you're gonna be replacing those all the time. 8 hours of welding a day. You're gonna have to replace those occasionally. You're gonna get some wire brushes. You're gonna get a striker, tape measure, square, a croissant wrench. Let's see, C-clamp, file, hammer, and another set of gloves. So again, this is what you're getting in the cost of tuition, okay? You're gonna get these tools first day and you're gonna keep them when you go. Do we got any questions out there so far?
Are you guys going on tour again?
Oh, nah, first question, are you guys going on tour again? Absolutely, make sure you guys go online, hit that link, fill out that submission. If you're a student, get your teacher to do the same. The more you get, the better the chances. English is a hard language to speak. The more submissions, the better, and you have to have a teacher submission. What other kind of questions we got? So far, so good? Very well. How old do you have to be to join the academy? Great question. So 17 and a half is the minimum. You have to be at least 17 and a half. We like you to be 18 when you graduate so you can go right to work, okay? Now, the next question is how much does it cost? So, for everything, okay, that's $36,500. That's going to include all things. So that's your tooling, that's your tuition, that's your books, that's your classroom time, material, that's 6 months of housing, utilities, and internet, plus access to lifetime retraining, 6 certifications, up to 10 if you're ambitious. Yeah, That's what that's going to cover. The next question we got is, do you have to have a GED? No, we do not require a GED, but if you're a senior and you're in high school, don't drop out, okay? Please, please, please finish what you're doing. You've spent the last 12 years of your life going through school. Just finish it, okay? It's not that hard. You don't got to drop out. Just get your GED or high school diploma, and we don't require it, but we recommend it. Sure, so the next question we got was, do we help with job placement? Yes, okay, so it's just a new program that we started, a student, what's it called? Student, I can't think of the word, it'll come to me, but we hired Mike. He was an instructor. He now has an office, and what he does full time is he's working with employers to help students get a job when you graduate, okay? But we do not guarantee you a job, okay, but we will help you as much as we can. We're going to give you, we're going to help you write your resume. You're going to have your certifications when you leave, and then as long as you work hard and you have good work ethic, accountability, and integrity, we'll help you as much as we can to get you a job, okay? No guarantees, but we do what we can. Any other good questions? All right, so we're going to move on to this table right here. So this is our curriculum laid out here on the table, okay? So I'm going to do a little demonstration for the cameras. So what's going to happen, your first day in class, okay, you're going to show up to the school, you're going to have classroom, you're going to get your toolbox, you're going to go through your toolbox, okay, and you are going to make sure all your tools are set up and ready to go, and then you're going to learn some safety, learn some basic procedures, and then day 2, and then from there on out, you're in the shop welding. Okay, so you're going to be welding in the shop 4 days a week, 8 hours a day, 1 day a week in the classroom, okay? So first day in the shop, you're going to be doing beads on plate like this. You're going to do 60-10 and 70-18. You're going to take this, you're going to do it in flat, you're going to do it in horizontal, you're going to do it in vertical up, and then you're going to do it in overhead, okay? So when I say all positions, that is what I mean. So 60-10, 70-18, all positions on plate. You're going to get check-offs, you're going to get write-offs, signatures, whatever you want to call it, from an instructor as you go through this. They're going to make sure that you're doing it right. Okay, you're going to do that, 60-10, 70-18. Once you're good and comfortable with that, you're going to move on to fillets, okay? So this is a fillet weld. Now you're taking and you're evenly distributing that weld inside of a fillet. Same thing, all positions. Flat, horizontal, vertical up, and overhead. Get checked off on that. Then you're going to move over to 3/8 plate. Okay, so this is a 3/8 piece of plate that has all of our pipe and plate, has machine bevels on it. Pretty slick, right? So you're going to take this 3/8 plate, you're going to tack it up, and then you're going to be making this root weld from this side over here. Okay, you're going to get good and practice on that. When you're ready to test out of the first phase, you're going to weld this in a vertical up and an overhead position. So you're going to do 2 separate ones. You're going to cut them into strips, okay? Once you've cut them into strips, you'll have 2 strips like this that you're going to bend. You're going to have a face bend, you're going to have a root bend, okay? These are what are going to determine if you pass or fail. If you did not know, if you have a hairline crack on one of these, so a hairline crack, right? Any longer than 1/8 of an inch, you fail, okay? It's hard to be a welder. You got to be on your toes every single day. But as long as you pass that, you get your first certification, okay, and your 3/8 plate, that's a structural. Now you're going to be moving into pipe. So once you get into pipe, you are required to have simulator time, okay, we'll show you those. That is not, it's not digital simulators, these are real life simulators, job-like simulators that are going to get you out of your booth, get you uncomfortable, get you welding in some different positions, okay? So you're going to be welding on pipe, you're going to weld on 2-inch pipe, you're going to weld on 4-inch pipe, and 6-inch pipe. And like I said, all of our pipes, see those beautiful bevels right there? That means when you're in the shop, you're just going to put a land on that, you're going to tack it up, and you're going to weld, 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 weld. Here at Western Welding Academy, we do not limit you on the amount of material that you use, okay? As long as you're not being wasteful, you can weld and weld and weld all day for 8 hours. So once you're in pipe, you're in simulators, 2, 4, 6-inch pipe, all positions, okay? You are going to test out your very first test in pipe. Is going to be on a 2-inch extra heavy wall like this. you're going to do a 60-10 root and a 70-18 hot fill and cap in the 6G position. So what that means is at a 45-degree angle, like this. Okay, tack it up, you're going to weld it out, 60-10 root, 70-18, all the way out. Once that's good, cut it into straps, bend it, boom, another set of certification. Then you're going to move on from that. Here's a little bit of a demonstration of some of this pipe here. Somebody else welded, wasn't me. Okay, once you pass that test, you are going to move into TIG. So now, if you do not know, when you were in those first phases, you're going to be stick welding, okay? And you're going to have this rod, and you're going to be propped up, and you're going to be welding all over the place. Now, we're moving to TIG, okay? You're going to have a filler rod like this, and you're going to have a tungsten, right? It's kind of sharpened like a pencil. It's like using electricity to draw with a pencil, okay? So now you have to use two hands, be coordinated with both. You're going to use this as a filler rod, and you're going to weld with this hand, okay? So you're in TIG. You'll do a little bit of TIG on plate just to get comfortable, get used to it, get a hang of it. It's a lot harder than stick welding, okay? Once you're good and comfortable, you're going to hop right back into pipe. So you're going to be welding in all positions, 2, 4, and 6-inch pipe, okay? All machine bevel stuff, all positions, simulators, moving around and around and around, okay? Now, when you're ready to test out of that phase, and here's kind of what a TIG looks like on a piece of pipe. Looks good, right? So what's going to happen next is you're going to do 2-inch schedule 80 in the 6G position like this, and it's going to be TIG out. So that means TIG root, TIG hot, TIG fill, and TIG cap. Boom, cut and bend their straps. Once you're done with that, you're going to do another 2-inch extra heavy wall combo test. So what that means is you're going to do a TIG root and then a 70-18 all the way out, okay? Combo. 2 tests in that phase, cut and bend straps, 2 more certifications, boom, we're moving forward. Now you're getting closer to the end of your program. You've been here for a while. At the end, well, close to the end, your next phase is stainless, okay? So here's a stainless. And what we do here, okay, is we're going to take, now you have a stainless filler rod, like so, and then you're going to take a purge base, like this, okay? You're going to hook up argon gas to the back side of this. You're going to tack this on there like that. You're going to cover that with tape, and you're going to purge the inside of that gas, or the inside of this pipe, which is going to protect that root, okay, on the inside when you're doing stainless. So you'll do stainless, same thing, 2, 4, 6-inch pipe, all positions, until you're ready to test out. Again, you'll test out in the 6G position, cut, bend straps, good to go. Then we're going to move on towards what is the end of the program, okay? So this entire time of welding, you started on the bottom and you've worked your way to the top. Now we're going to go from the top and go down to the bottom. This is production, this is oil field, and this is pipeline work. Let's get a slick look at that. Pretty cool, huh? So that's your downhill, and that's at that time you'll be looking for a job, getting ready to go. You'll be outside on that pipeline simulator, which will show you it's going to have big pipe, okay, 24-inch pipe, 16, 18-inch pipe, something out there. Big stuff. It's always kind of changing. Now, these are the 6 certifications in the program, okay? This program is at your own pace. You can do it in your own time. As long as you're being proficient, you can pass through. What that means is you can either A, graduate early and get out of here and get to work, okay? On average, people are doing it in about 4.5 months. But if you're ambitious and you want to do more, we have more certifications that you can get. You can do some hardwire, you can do some dual shield, Inconel, chromium, things of that nature. So if that's what you're looking to do, get in here, learn as much as you can. This place is a buffet. You gotta be hungry, you gotta show up and eat, you gotta go up to the station and put the food on your plate, okay? We don't bring it to you, you gotta be ambitious. Addition to that, okay, 8 hours a day, but you can actually stay for 16 hours a day or 2 shifts, essentially doubling your education while you're here. So that covers most of the curriculum on the welding side of it. Right here you're going to see this nice, beautiful weld machine. We're still waiting for the doors. They're not on yet, but if you look in this picture right here, you can see the gentleman that won a welding machine this year at the beginning of the year. So we have what's called a hand program. So to be a hand, if anybody knows what a hand is, and I'm not talking about this okay? We're talking about in the industry, a hand is somebody that does things outside their line of work, okay? If you're a welder, you're not too proud to sweep, paint, bolting some things up, right? You do more than just welding, so we incentivize that here at Western Welding Academy. And to be a hand, you must have a 95% attendance rate, no disciplinary actions, graduate 6 weeks early, and fail no welding tests. Now, if you fail 1 welding test and you take 2 more of the same and pass both, you're good to go, but you can only do that once. But we take all the hands, and during our welding competition in the first week of May, we draw one out, and the lucky winner wins a weld machine. So this machine you see right here, maybe we'll take a lap around it so you can check it out. This machine right here is going to be the machine for next year's welding competition. I believe it's a Lincoln short face. She's a beast, she's brand new, entirely rebuilt. Everything's been redone on this thing, so it's practically brand new. Pretty cool, right? All right, so let's recap. Let's see if we got any questions from the crowd. Good question. Do we have girls that attend the academy? No, we don't. Just kidding. We probably have 15 to 20 girls out there right now. They do happen. It does happen. And girls are normally better welders than guys. For one, they don't have such an ego. 2, they don't drink as much Red Bull. And 3, they have great hand-eye coordination. So normally girls are better welders. What else you got? What's up? A tour? Blue Collar Tour? Blue Collar Tour 2025. It is happening in January. Get in there, get the submissions in. You got to get your teacher to do it. You got to do it. You got to get your buddies to do it. So you got to get your family to do it. No, just have the kids do it. Don't do your family. But the more, the merrier. The more is better. Any other questions? Do we move forward? They're all shaking their head at me. All right. So let's come over here real quick. I want to point a few things out. This is the trophy that was given to us by Donald J. Trump. He said that we were voted the best welding school in the world, so it's pretty cool. It has all the years on here that we won the #1 welding school. Actually, since the opening of Western Welding Academy, it's been like that. So that's pretty cool that we have that. Oh, check this out. We'll look at this. This is the curriculum book. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flash you a couple pages to see what you can expect. If you're not good at math, that's okay. We're going to teach you. You're going to learn all about it. Pipe fitting, isometric drawings, blueprint reading, okay, welding symbols. You're going to learn the math. You're going to learn how it works. Luckily, when I was in high school, I was told, my high school teachers told me, they said, you need to learn how to do it by hand because you won't have a calculator everywhere you go. Well, I tell you what, they were wrong. So luckily, we all got calculators, and it makes the math a little bit easier. Now, I wanted to just show this poster off a little bit too. So on this poster, what I'm showing you is kind of some of the industries that welders are involved in, okay? So most production where things are produced, so pharmaceuticals, oils, petroleums, milks, a lot of big factories where things are made, there's always high pressure pipe running through the building, supplying some form of something, okay? Well, anytime you have 2 pieces of metal, a welder's got to put them together. Okay, so you're going to have a welder in a lot of different industries all over the world. You can't get in your car. You can't drive across a bridge. You can't play on your cell phone. You can't do all the things you do without a welder. I promise you, if you sit down and think about it and look at the things around you, a welder has had their hands on it somewhere throughout the process, okay? So that is just a little bit about that. This is Tanner's office. She's a little busy right now. She's working with some students. So I think we are going to make the journey across into the school. So if you have questions, now would be a great time.
Someone with a felony conviction somewhere.
So I got a question about felons. So what we will do with that, go ahead and put an application in. We're going to review everybody's application as it is. If you have a crime, we're going to just dive into it a little bit more, make sure things are kosher. Don't let that deter you. Go ahead and put an application in, and we'll figure it out online, okay? Or on our time once we get it, okay? Put it in online. Other than that, this is a school. So we're going to just walk across the parking lot and go check it out. We got any more questions? Okay, so our next question is, are you only stationed in Wyoming? And the answer to that is yes. Right here is the spot. This is Western Welding Academy in Gillette, Wyoming, Northeast Wyoming, 82716. This is the spot. There is no other campuses as of right now. So the next question is, do our employees have experience? Absolutely. I would imagine now we probably have over 300 years of experience in both of these buildings. Okay, our instructors must have 7 years of experience when they apply for us to hire them. So a lot of them have a lot of experience. Some of these guys are some old dogs. They got some cool tricks. I tell you what, and they'll teach you a lot. The more questions you ask, the better. You know, when you're going through the program, there's no such thing as a bad question. And if you're asking somebody and you don't feel like you get the answer or it doesn't help you solve the problem, ask somebody else. Welding is an art form. Everybody does it a little bit differently. So you might ask 3 guys and they might tell you something that doesn't work. You might ask the 4th guy and he's got the answer that helps you move on and move forward.
Do you provide housing?
Do we provide housing? I just hit puberty. So yes, we do provide housing. Actually, housing is required unless you live in Gillette, Wyoming and have, or if you're bringing a wife and kids, okay? Those are kind of our 2 exceptions. Other than that, housing is required, okay? It is included in the cost of tuition. The only thing you have to do is put a $1,000 deposit on there. It's a security deposit. You will get that back after you graduate, as long as you take care of the place you're living in, and as long as you show up on your first day. Any other questions? All right, let's move quick. It's a beautiful day out here. Winter's coming, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel it in my bones. All right, it's really the wind. The wind is cold. So, this right here is the side of the shop. Pretty cool, isn't it? So, at Western Welding Academy, we treat this place like a job site. You're required to clock in, you're required to clock out, okay? Your attendance is really the basis and the foundation of your grade. You have to be here to learn. We have a really strict attendance policy. Okay, you miss 7 days, you're out of here. Okay, you got to be here. It's the only way we can teach you. Right here, we have that tank right there. That's a bulk liquid argon tank. Okay, so that right there it's plumb full of liquid argon and it's plumbed into every single booth inside the shop. You're not worrying about having to change the bottles yet. You're just worried about controlling that arc and manipulating that puddle, okay? So, other than that, this right here, this is where you'd be going to the bathroom, okay? Like I said, we treat it like a job site. If it's negative 40 degrees or 120, you're not gonna be in there playing Candy Crush. You're gonna get out, you're gonna get it done, and you're gonna get back to work. All right, let's get in the shop. Here we are, the weld shop. So, let's check it out. So here's a booth right here. This is what a booth looks like. Okay, you got everything you need in there. You got a stand. How about when we fit in here? Come on in here. All right, in here you got everything you need. So you got this stand. This stand is fully adjustable. Okay, I don't know if I got somebody wrenched down on that one. So this will rotate both ways for all positions. This will go up and it'll go down. So you can be adjusted for every position. You got an argon right here. You got your argon plumbed in. You got your regulators. You got this is for your purge line when you're doing stainless. This right here is your remote. What's cool about that is you're not walking back and forth. Okay, you got a remote right here. You got to plug in and you got your leads. So you're ready to hook up. All right. So inside of each bay is an instructor table, okay? This is where you're gonna find instructors when you need help. This is where, you know, hang out, bring your stuff up here. The instructors will be wandering around, but this is a spot you can find them. So, as you can see, there's, puberty again, there's Lincolns and Millers, okay? You'll be welding on Lincolns, you'll be welding on Miller machines. As you go through the program, you will be jumping around to different booths, okay? You're never stuck in one booth. you might have a weld machine, you know, you might have these Lincolns manufactured on the same assembly line. These two machines might weld differently than each other. So what's important is learning how to manipulate a puddle, how to control an arc, okay? So when you hop on any machine, anywhere you go, it might not even have numbers on it, but you're able to just dial it in because you know how it feels and you know how it runs, okay? So, just a little bit about that. Now, every day at the start of your shift, okay, you have a safety meeting, and then you sign a JSA, a job safety analysis, okay? That's part of it, and once everybody's done, we say the Pledge of Allegiance, all right? Well, if it isn't Mr. Nate right there. All right, let's go. All right, so this right here, this is the tool room, okay? This is where you're gonna get your pipe and your plate and your welding rod. Like I said, we don't limit you on the stuff that you, the amount of material that you get a weld on. Also, you can rent out some tools right here if you need to. What else? What else? Yeah, let's go check it out. Oh, actually, this right here. So, this right here. Are we good? We still live? Okay. So, sorry guys, we're in a shop. Sometimes the service is terrible. This right here is just a whiteboard. So all the time we're gonna be putting new things up here. There might be things for sale like this. Do you want a job? See? Also, they do a little teaching and demonstration up here. We also have our core values and our golden rules up there. So I'd like to cover these golden rules real quick. So on our golden rules, our number one is safety glasses must be on all the time, no exceptions, okay? You can do a lot of things without, you know, if you don't have a leg or if you don't have an arm, you can still weld. But if you have no eyes, it's not gonna happen, okay? Number two, face shield and safety glasses must be worn all the time when around cutting and welding, okay? So double eye protection anytime you're around welding or cutting, okay? And then third rule is no cell phones, no music, okay? Super important when you're learning to weld, you can listen to it and you can hear what you're doing wrong kind of by just listening to the noises. You can see if your polarities are backwards. And also it's a safety hazard, okay? If everybody has their AirPods in and they're jamming the music, someone might fall down in one of the booths and need help, okay? So none of that. We have a really strict rule on that, okay? If you get caught doing any of those things 3 times, you're out of here, okay? Strict rules, strict rules, strict rules. A little bit of core values right here. Be real. We will always figure it out. Humbly confident, never satisfied, and committed. That's what we're all about around here. So, this old girl right here is called the Heartbreaker. Now, she's earned that name. Come on in a little bit so you can see it. So what you do, once you make your weld test, you cut it into straps over there at the table, clean them up, then you're gonna stick them in here, and then you're gonna bend straps, okay? Something like that. Simple enough. All right. Hey, we're just gonna do a quick walkthrough here. You wanna just show the audience the pipe and the plate. This is all that material that we're talking about. This is what all you're gonna get here, okay? So you got your plate's got bevels on it, your pipe's got bevels on it. Cameraman, if you just wanna give them a quick loop-de-doop of that. Pretty cool stuff. You just get to come in here and do some welding, all right? Weld it up. Bunch of slackers over here. All right, let's go right in here. Whoa. Okay, so this right here is one of our simulators, okay? So everywhere you see an opening, like this right here, is somewhere you're gonna tack up a piece of pipe and be welding in. Obviously, this is restrictive and it's going to be a pain. All right. Here's another one. Here's another one right here. Another opening. Another opening. Look, another opening right here. And believe it or not, there's another opening right there, okay? So these are just our simulators where you're going to tack up your piece of pipe and you're going to have to weld it in this 6G position right here. Okay, there's a lot of them. There's one back there. We'll go upstairs and check out the rest. Right here, if you want a cameraman, just get a little bit on that. This is the cutting table. All right? This is where you're going to do cutting up your straps. All right, let's move out. Going up that way. We're going up that way. All right, same thing, same idea, different spot, okay? Openings, got some openings here, openings down there, okay? I don't know if you've ever worked on grading like this, but it's hard on your knees, so make sure you got some good knee pads, okay? Be safe. If there's people below you, make sure you throw down a fire blanket. All right, so show off some of these other machines right here. When you're at your end of your program and you're going to do some dual shield hardwire, stuff like that, we got this double spool machine right here so you can get those certifications. Now, when you're here, you're going to be here for about 8 hours a day. Okay, so what that means is you might just need a Red Bull. So we got these vending machines. There's one in each shop and there's one in the classroom. Let's head this way. These iPads right here, they're going to be where you clock in and clock out, okay? All right. Hello. So this is the front office, okay? I want to display this wall a little bit, and I don't know if you can get some close-up shots of this, but each one of these signatures is a student that graduated. Okay, so as you can see, they are from absolutely everywhere, from sea to shiny sea. Okay, I've had kids from Hawaii, I've had kids from New York, California, Texas, Florida, and everywhere in between. They're all over. All right, so this is the front office. This is where you're going to find lead instructors. You're going to find the head of operations and the campus manager. Okay, and Lisa up here will fix all your problems if you have them. Okay, being responsible, just make sure you clock in, clock out. If you don't, you're gonna come up here and she's gonna fix it for you. So while we're in the quiet, do we have any questions? I'm sure we've had a few come in.
Is it hard to get into Western Welding?
Is it hard to get into Western Welding Academy? I'm gonna say yes and no. The application is a little longer, okay? It's just gonna take a little bit of time. Put in most of your efforts, and I don't think you'll have a problem, okay? Yeah.
What's the percentage of applicants that get accepted?
I'm going to say 10% of the applicants get accepted.
Can you bring your dog for housing?
Can you bring your dog for housing? No, and I'll tell you why. Now, that's 4 people to a house. It's shared living. Now, imagine if everybody and their dogs were living there. Just wouldn't be right, it wouldn't be fair, so no animals in the housing. Any other questions? Oh, hey, howdy.
Hey, howdy.
Any other questions online?
Where are you located?
Where are we located? We are located in northeast Wyoming in a big old city called Gillette. Population 40,000, 82716. What other kind of question you got on there?
Do you have any foreign applicants?
Okay, the question was, do you have any foreign applicants? Absolutely, we do. We've had a lot of applications from all over the world. Really, the thing is, if you can come to the States legally on a visa and find a way to pay for your tuition, we'll accept you. It's kind of totally up to your circumstances and your efforts. Okay, the next question is, do you need certifications for this school? No, okay, that's what we're gonna do for you. We're gonna teach you, we're gonna train you. We don't, words are hard. We don't actually require you to have, any previous training in welding. We'll teach you, that's our job here. So don't worry about that. Great question. The next question is how much is a booth hold payment? Okay, so a booth hold payment is $350, and what that's gonna do is gonna lock you into start date. It's gonna guarantee you a spot. Okay, we're going to order the material and the tooling for the date that we set together or with your advisor, and we'll send you a little merch in the mail.
Is there a housing curfew?
The next question is there a housing curfew? I don't know if it's a curfew or a quiet time, but I believe by midnight they expect you to be home and quiet. So, I mean, some of you coming through are adults, and that's just the way it is, but I don't know if curfew is the right word, but I know there's a quiet time.
Is there any past requirements needed to apply?
Any past requirements? No, there are no past requirements to apply to our school. All right, let's keep moving. We'll make a jaunt down outside to the big pipeline simulator. Don't say anything out of pocket, I'm live, son. Okay, let's go. He doesn't even way back. Terrible. All right. So, this right here is our pipeline simulator. This is where you're going to get and go outside and weld on the big pipe or off these big diesel generated machines. How's it going, brother?
How are you?
Good, I'm live right now. Don't say anything out of pocket.
Right on.
Yep, so these are these big machines. You'll get a weld on these. Let's go check out this big pipe. So we will teach you a little bit about loading skids or setting skids for when you're doing pipeline work. And then you're gonna be able to weld on this big pipe, okay? Get out here with an instructor, get out here with one of your buddies, run this torch, cut this up, and do some welding. It's a big pipe, takes a long time. Good practice, rain or shine, okay? Western Welding Academy, we don't get rained out, we get rained on, okay? So we'll normally have a little hoochie out here for when it's super cold. Get the weld on this pipe. Pretty simple, that's about it. Maybe have you pan around and show off these machines a little bit. Sweet. Oh, he's about to weld too. And we get a show. We love that. Very cool. All right. Let's keep moving. So what we'll do, if we don't lose connection, what we'll do is we'll just make a walk through the new shop and poke into the classroom, and we'll probably call it about that time. Has anybody got questions?
Can I build whatever I want here?
The question is, can I build whatever I want here at the Academy? That's a good question. And I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I don't really know the answer. It depends on what you're doing, right? If you have a little project, I'm sure they would help you, allow you to do a little welding. It depends on what the extent of what your project is. If you want to build a Falcon 7 rocket for SpaceX, I doubt it. Whatever, I don't know. Don't plan on it. Don't get your feelings hurt or nothing. But yeah, that's a good question.
How long is the course and can I graduate early?
Perfect. The next question is how long is the course and can I graduate early? So the course is 6.5 months long. It is at your own pace, so you can graduate early. Okay, so on average, kids do it in about 4.5 months. Do graduates join union or stay non-union? Good question. Yes and yes. So kids are, going, I've had a lot of kids that go into their own industry, they start their own business, right? Some kids join union. I know a handful of them that go to union, and it's just really up to you, your situation, and where you want to go and what you want to do. So yes and no, or yes and yes. All right, next question. I think it's the third time we've answered this one. Do you need a high school diploma to attend your school? No, you do not need a diploma, a high school diploma, or a GED, but if you're a senior in high school, just finish it, man. You've already done it for 12 years. Don't be a quitter. What other questions do we got?
Are there scholarships offered at
Is there scholarships offered? Yes. So we do a lot with scholarships. I think we did over $500,000 in scholarships last year. I'm live. Don't say anything out of pocket. I'm live. So scholarships, I believe we did about $500,000 in scholarships last year. We give scholarships away for competing at our welding competition. If you win, it's a full ride. Second place is 50%, and third place is 33%. Okay. Other than that, we do have a list of scholarships that we give out after you pay your booth hold payment to help you get some money, some funding, and some things to do to help you reduce the cost of tuition. The next question is there any physical written tests at Western Welding Academy? I believe as of right now, no, okay? But I know that they're working on making the classroom a little harder, where you do have to take some written tests. So I would say yes, I guess. All right, it's gonna be loud in here. All right, welcome to TC2. This is our second training center. Feel free to pan the camera. So, more booths in here, it's louder in here. Kids are in here busy, welding away. Booths, machines, the booths are very similar to the last setup. We got a kid cutting right here. Heartbreaker 2.0, okay? As soon as you pass your bend test, as you can see right here, you will get your certification. Very cool. Also, right here, we have the other tool room. Okay, same thing, get your welding rod, get your pipe, get your plate. Use up as much as you want, as long as you're not being wasteful. All right, we're gonna move a little faster here. Lots of rooms, gotta clean up your mess. You gotta clean up your mess. All right. Now, what's good to show while we're on this side of the building, we have great ventilation systems here at Western Welding Academy. All your booths, they're gonna be sucking out all that dirty air, and it's gonna filter it and blow it back in, so when it's really cold out here, you don't get cold in the shop. About 60, 65 degrees in there, which we're approaching winter fast. All right, let's check out the classroom. We're almost out of time. We got 15 minutes. So this is the classroom building. This is where you're gonna learn to do classroom stuff. As you can see, it really looks like a classroom. What up? All right, so in here, we'll start on this side. So, what up? Right here, okay? Another simulator here in the classroom. So what's gonna happen in an area like this? These flanges, okay, you're gonna take, one of the instructors is gonna say, I need you to take flange A to flange D, and I want 2 90s in it. You're gonna have to measure it. You're gonna have to do the math, draw it on an isometric paper, and then cut it and weld it, okay? Hope it bolts up, right? Right here, we got a tool cage. Is this are these all new kids? These, woo, week 2, yeah. Hey, I wasn't here for orientation, but I'm back. All right, so same thing. Everything you see in this room is built by students. Okay, the students made everything in here. Pretty cool to see. Not much like a classroom, is it? These guys are on week 2 and they're in the shop. So let me show you a little something. We're gonna go inside the classroom. Hey, we're gonna swing through here just real quick. All right, so this is the classroom, okay? This is where you're gonna be doing that curriculum book I showed you. You are gonna be doing math, you are gonna be doing paperwork. You don't have to buy books, okay? That's included in the cost of your tuition. But this is where you're gonna do it. And as long as everybody's being good and getting done what they need to, you'll be able to get out of the classroom and into the shop and do a lot more hands-on things. Now is a perfect time to answer a few more questions. Do we train for underwater welding? No, we do not. I don't know if you ever looked at a map, but Wyoming is not even close to any water, so no, we do not train underwater welding. Isn't that right, John?
That's right. 0 underwater.
What do we got next?
Do you give any tests during the application process?
There are no tests during the application process. Yeah, no tests, just the application. Have I ever welded? Yes, I actually spent, when I was in high school, which was 10 years ago, when I was in high school, I dual enrolled high school and college for welding. I graduated, I went working, I worked in the oil fields, I worked in the coal mines, I was a welder, I was a fabricator. I went back to college for automated manufacturing, learning to run CNC machines, then I did line boring, and then I was a gunsmith, and then I went back into the oil fields welding. So yes, I'm very versed in the industry. Yes, we have a couple options right now for financial aid. They're like traditional loans, okay? You apply online, they're credit-based, and you can have co-signers. What other questions we got?
Is it possible to get into the welding industry with no diploma or GED?
Is it possible to get into the welding industry with no diploma or GED? The answer is yes, okay? You do not, it's not required here. It's not required everywhere. If you are already in high school, I highly recommend finishing it out. It's going to look better for you, and it's going to take you further if you do.
Are you guys planning on branching out from Wyoming?
The next question is, are you guys planning on branching out from Wyoming? And I would say ultimately yes.
What type of welder do you think makes the most money?
What type of welder do I think makes the most money? I would say people that are TIG welding stainless or Inconel, or if they're running their own truck.
Is there a spring break or a winter break?
Yes, so the question is there a spring break or a winter break? Yes, we do have a spring break and we have a Christmas break as well, about 2 weeks long.
If I have any family emergencies, how long can I be gone for?
The question is, if I have any family emergencies, how long will I be gone for? Or how long can I be gone for? It just depends ultimately on what your situation is. You'll work with the front office, you'll work with the campus manager. What you'll need depending on your situation, if it's a death in the family, bring an obituary note, or if you're sick, get a doctor's note. We'll work with you as long as it's reasonable.
Can I still apply if I have a felony?
The question is, can I still apply if I have a felony? Put your application in and we'll decide if it's accepted or not.
Can I apply 2 years in advance?
The question is, can I apply 2 years in advance? Technically, yes. Depends on your situation. So if you're a junior, sure. If you're 26 years old, no, probably not. Why not start now, But yes, you technically can, yes.
I'm 34 years old. Can I still apply?
The next question is, I'm 34 years old. Can I still apply? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, you can. We've started older men up to like 60s. Guys in their 60s, they've come through and welded, so there's no age limit. You could probably be 99, but it'd be pretty tough, to be honest with you.
What's the cost without financing?
With what? I'm sorry?
Without financing.
What is the cost without financing? It's the same, okay? So the cost of tuition is $36,800. I think I said 500 earlier. It's $36,800. That's your housing, that's your deposits, that's your tools, the tuition, material, lifetime retraining, books, everything.
I just joined the live, but are there any housing options?
Hi, person that just joined the live. The question was, is there any housing options? And the answer is yes, we have housing and it is required. Check it out online. There's a really great video on our website that shows some drone footage of where it's at and what it looks like. It's pretty good.
What if you live in Gillette?
If you already live in Gillette, Wyoming, you are not required to take our housing.
Is there a list of recommended tools to bring?
The list of recommended tools, honestly, no. If you have a favorite welding hood that you already got, bring it. If you got some tools you want to bring them. We're going to supply everything you need.
Do we get to keep what you supply to us?
The question is, do you get to keep what you supply to us? Absolutely. You get to keep it. Once you leave, it's yours.
How long does it take to finish your school?
Question is how long does it take to finish your school? The answer to that question is 6 months. You can do it sooner too.
What types of metals do you guys get to weld with?
The next question is what types of metals do you get to weld with? It is just carbon steel. Okay, we're just welding on carbon steel. If we got any more exotic, it would be super expensive. Any other questions before we get out of here?
How old do you have to be to join?
How old do you have to be to join? You got to be 17 and a half. We'll start you at 17 and a half. That way, when you're done in 6 months, you're ready to work.
Do you guys weld with aluminum?
Next question is, do you guys weld with aluminum? The answer to that is no, we do not weld aluminum.
If I live in Maryland, am I allowed to go to WWA?
This question is, if I live in Maryland, am I allowed to go to WWA? You must have tuned in late, because absolutely. Absolutely. A few more questions here, guys. Get your questions in real quick, and then we're going to get out of here.
Are jobs lined up after completing the school?
The next question is, are jobs lined up after completing school? And the answer is yes, no. Okay, we do have a student career services. I thought of it finally, for those that have been here the whole time. Student career services. We have a new department. Mike, he was an instructor, is now working with companies to hire our students. We do not guarantee you a job. Okay, we do not guarantee that, but we'll build a resume with you. We'll get your certifications for you, and we'll help you get in contact with employers.
Why does your school not weld aluminum?
The question is, why does our school not weld aluminum? That is a great question, but we don't have high-frequency machines in the shop, okay? We're more focused on pipe and carbon steel. Okay, last question of the evening was a pretty popular one today. I was actually had a lot of students texting me asking me that same question. Do you need a high school diploma or a GED to come to Western Welding Academy? The answer is no. Okay, we don't require it, but please, if you're in high school, finish high school. Don't be a quitter. Nobody likes a quitter, right?
What kind of machines do you guys have?
What kind of machines do we have? Oh, they're Miller XMT, and I don't know what the Lincolns are, but they're Millers and Lincolns. Great question to ask me when I was in the shop. Too late now, I don't remember what they are. I think they're Lincoln, I know they're Millers or XMTs, and I don't know what the Lincolns are, so unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Do you have any interview tips after applying for a weld job?
Interview tips, absolutely. So 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is so the question was, do you have any interview tips after applying for a weld job? I would say, for one, what's probably going to happen is you're going to want to take your resume, you want to put your certifications on there, okay, you want to turn that resume in, and then when they call you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask or tell you to come in and do a weld test, show up, be on time, be proper, be respectful, be responsible. Reach out, call them if you don't hear anything. Don't be annoying, but it doesn't hurt to call. Or if you can, take that, hand deliver that resume to a boss. That'd be your best options.
Can you work a part-time job while attending?
Can you work, the next question is, can you work a part-time job while attending? The answer is yes. A lot of our students do. You'll be here for 8 hours a day. That leaves 8 hours normally, roughly, for you to go out and work. So part-time jobs are a thing.
What's the most difficult thing to learn there?
The question is, what is the most difficult thing to learn at Western Welding Academy? That one could really vary by the person, but I would say probably stainless TIG.
When does the next BCT start?
The next blue collar tour is going to start in January.
Can I apply? I'm from the Philippines.
Got another question that says, I'm from the Philippines, can I apply? You can sure apply. You know what's going to happen is you're going to have to get a visa and find a way to pay for your tuition. So if you can get those two things done, absolutely get down here and we'll teach you how to weld.
What are some cool things that go on during the tour?
Another tour question, what cool things go on during the tour? So during the tour, we hit these high schools, we go in there, we do a welding demonstration, we give away thousands of dollars worth of merch and tools. It is a really cool experience, really high energy. If you've never been, you're missing out.
How can I get you guys to come to my school?
So the next question is, how can I get you guys to come to my school? Pretty simple, link in bio, go online, you'll find it probably in our link tree. You need to get in there. There's an application to fill out for your school, and then get all your buddies at school to do it as well. And then you gotta get your instructors to do it. That's the only way we can get you really on that list.
Why should you choose a trade school over apprenticeship?
Okay, this is a good question. This says, why choose a trade school over an apprenticeship? Okay, so an apprenticeship is a way, and it works, and we're not against it by any means. But you're at the mercy of the person that's training you. So, for example, you go work for a welder, okay, he's going to have to teach you how to weld and cut and grind and do all these things and the math on his time. Okay, so unless you have a welder that's very willing to stay after hours to train you, you're on the mercy of them, okay? And then it depends on the person if they're gonna even want to teach you. Sometimes welders have their helpers and they don't want their helpers to be welders. They want them to be helpers, right? So you're at the mercy of somebody. It could take 4 years for you to get the training to be able to jump out and get to welding versus 6 months here, get the training. You still might need to go be a helper after leaving Western Welding Academy. Be proudful, okay? Be prideful. If you do that for 6 months or a year, that's nothing in your career, right? If you're a young man or woman, that's nothing. That's no time at all. A lot of students go out there and bust out and start welding right away. So it's shorter, it's quicker, it's easier.
Do you teach pipe fitting or welding learning?
Okay, the next question is, do you teach pipe fitting? So check it out. We're actually in the classroom where they teach pipe fitting. And they teach isometric drawings and blueprint reading and welding symbols. So I'm going to just pull this kid's book off. As you can see, a little bit about that. Right? In our curriculum, you're going to learn a lot about pipe fitting, takeoffs, welding symbols, procedure, safety, things of that nature.
What kind of math do you tend to use?
So the next question is, what kind of math do you use? So a lot of it's fractions, okay, because you're working with the imperial system. You're going to be doing fractions, adding fractions, subtracting fractions, things like that.
What's the biggest difference between coming to Western Welding Academy compared to other schools?
So the question is, what is the biggest difference between coming to Western Welding Academy versus other schools? I would say our simulators, okay, they're amazing. I would say the amount of time that you get to spend in the shop welding, okay, you know, we don't limit you. Some schools you go to, they're going to give you just 36 welding rods and say that's what you get for the day. We don't do that, okay. We give you as much material as you want for as long as you want. You can stay for 16 hours a day and you can leave early.
Is it housing or is it dorms?
The housing, the question is it housing or is it dorms? The housing is like dorm. It's kind of dorm style. What we've done is we bought a mobile home park, okay, and we put brand new trailers in there. They're man camp trailers. There's a bedroom on each side, a bathroom on each side, and then a common living area. There's 4 people to a trailer. 4, I did both hands, so 4 people to a trailer, 2 people to a room.
Do you guys visit more than one school in one state?
So the question I'm assuming is to Blue Collar Tour says, do you visit more than one school in one state? Absolutely. We hit as many places as we can in 60 days. Cool beans. Well, I'm going to call it a wrap. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let us know. Give us a like. Give us a comment. You know what to do. We might do it again. So this is Quasey signing out. Peace.